Hi there, Rachel here again. I'm going to talk to you in this video about the three centers of intelligence. In Enneagram theory, we often talk about different triads, and there are different triads to help us understand different aspects of Enneagram theory and human behavior. The three centers of intelligence refer to the three brains in the body. So the gut or the body is where we feel sensation, our intuition, our instinct. So having your arm hairs stand on end, a chill going up your spine, or I knew that was going to happen. That's all information that comes to us through the body or gut center. Next, we have the head center. The head center, of course, is located in our brains. This is our thinking, cerebral processing, where we look at options, analysis, data, where we problem solve. And then we have the heart in the center of our chest, this heart center that causes us to move towards other people to create connection and love and relationships. Each of these centers has its own intelligence. And these intelligence centers each have something to teach us. Now, as we go through Enneagram theory and we start to look at these intelligence centers, we begin to notice that one tends to be stronger than the others. And what's wonderful about this is a source of great resource. We have a lot of power and access to wisdom in this body center. And this body center can also be a blind spot. So I have teachers that say our primary center of intelligence is where we have the most resources and the least freedom. We lack freedom when we allow our habitual behavior or blind spots to guide our decision making instead of pausing and making that choice for ourselves. So that is part of why knowing our centers of intelligence can be so powerful. So we're going to dig a little deeper into each center. And you'll notice on the diagram that these are color coded, and you'll see these throughout the presentation. So the pink color will always be referring to the gut or the body center, the green always to the heart, and the blue to the head. Let's dig in. So in the heart center, we have our feeling center, the wisdom of our emotions and all that they have to teach us. We'll be doing some presence practices throughout this series so that you can really get into your heart and know what I'm talking about when I refer to the wisdom of our emotions. Enneagrams 2, 3, and 4 fall into the heart triad. And there's an underlying emotion here of shame. So shame is often attached to something that we did that we feel shame about. So the heart center sometimes is focused a little bit in the past. Other emotions that are connected to shame are sadness, despair, and distress. Now, we can look at these as bringing us down and heavy, or we can use our awareness of this underlying emotion of shame to teach us something. And we can think of each of the emotions with each of the body centers as an intelligent alarm system. And it's up to you to discover, what is it that this shame has to teach me? How does it serve me in my life? Through the heart center, and again, we all have a heart, there's a desire for validation. So this tends to be stronger within the heart triad, this desire for validation, which we as humans all have because we're wired for connection. Next, we're going to move into the head center. So this is our brain. This is where we think. This is where we have ideas. This is also where we ruminate and worry. Enneagrams 5, 6, and 7 fall into the head triad, and their underlying emotion is fear. So fear manifests differently for each of these three Enneagram types, and there are different fears that each one has connected to their motivation. When you're always thinking and looking at possibilities of things that could happen in the world, you may start to see the world as an unsafe place. And so within the center is a desire to create security in the world. Now, this is a basic human need, and it tends to be amplified in this head center. One more thing I'll say about fear before I move on to the body center is that fear is often looking forward, what hasn't happened yet. So the head center is often in the future in the way that they process. Now, next, we're going to move to the body center. So if you have ever had a gut knowing, or I knew that was going to happen, that's often coming from this gut, this body or embodied wisdom. Now, this is something that we all have as human beings. And in fact, all living animals have this instinctive nature, this knowingness, this hair standing on end when something is about to happen or when something really moves us, it alerts us. And the body center and the body as it is now can only ever exist in the present moment. Enneagrams 8, 9, and 1 fall into the body category, and their underlying emotion is anger. So again, each of these Enneagram types interacts with anger in a different way. And the anger is often stimulated when autonomy is threatened. And it's almost as if in the body center, there's a wall between us and them. I want to impact the world, but I don't want it to impact me. I'm going to stay safe over here. And that's the exertion of autonomy. So when that gets threatened, the response to that is anger, and anger is present. So for each of these, again, I invite you to reflect and maybe journal about this for the next week or so. How do shame, fear, and anger serve me? Because I promise you, they have something to teach us. If you're curious to learn more about the intelligence centers, you can absolutely participate in the Know Thyself series when it comes around again. Look out for dates for that. And we are going to be digging into this in the Deepen Your Relationships series and self-observing our own intelligence centers in relationships. I'll see you soon.